The best gaming moments happen on the same couch. Here are 25 PS5 co-op games that make every session with friends and family unforgettable. It Takes Two kicks off this list at number 1, and it is not hard to see why this game sits at the very top. This is one of the most celebrated co-op experiences ever made, winning the Game of the Year award and earning it for every single reason. Two players control Cody and May, a couple on the verge of divorce who get magically transformed into dolls. What follows is a wildly inventive platformer adventure, where every chapter introduces entirely new gameplay mechanics. No two levels feel the same, and the collaborative design means both players are always equally engaged throughout the entire journey. Landing right at number 2, Unravel 2 is one of the most charming and visually beautiful co-op platformers you can play on PS5. The game pairs two yarn-based characters together, literally connecting them with a strand of thread that becomes a core mechanic for solving puzzles and traversing environments. The art direction is stunning, with each level rendered in naturalistic detail that looks like a living painting. One player can carry the other when things get tough, making it genuinely accessible for players of different skill levels. It is gentle, heartwarming, and endlessly pleasant to play through together. Sackboy A Big Adventure takes the 3rd spot as one of the best exclusive platformers on PS5 with standout co-op support. The game builds on the Little Big Planet legacy with tight platforming, vibrant world design, and an enormous amount of personality packed into every level. Playing with up to 4 players locally is where the game truly shines, with dedicated co-op-only stages that require teamwork and coordination. The DualSense haptic feedback integration is some of the best on the platform, and the visual quality is consistently impressive throughout the campaign from start to finish. Number 4 is Overcooked All You Can Eat, the definitive edition of the Chaotic Kitchen co-op series that remains one of the funniest local multiplayer experiences on any platform. This version bundles both original games along with all their downloadable content into one enormous package. The concept is brilliantly simple. Cook and serve food orders in increasingly absurd and obstacle-filled kitchens, all while communicating constantly with your partner. It tests teamwork, patience, and communication in ways that produce both victory and hysterical failure. It is endlessly replayable and perfect for mixed groups of all gaming abilities. Coming in at 5, Rayman Legends is a platforming masterpiece that holds up beautifully and remains one of the most polished co-op experiences available. The level design is creative and inventive throughout, with standout musical stages that synchronize the gameplay to the soundtrack in brilliant fashion. Up to 4 players can jump in locally, and the game scales smoothly without ever feeling crowded. The hand-painted art style is gorgeous and timeless, running at a smooth frame rate throughout. Even players who have completed it before will find value revisiting it in co-op for the joy of the pure platforming quality. Trine 5, A Clockwork Conspiracy, claims the 6th spot as the latest and most polished entry in the beloved fantasy puzzle platformer series. Up to 4 players control the 3 classic heroes, each with distinct abilities that must be combined to solve environmental puzzles. The physics-based gameplay rewards creativity, letting players find multiple solutions to each obstacle depending on their character combination. Visually, it is the most impressive Trine to date, with lush fantasy environments rendered in painterly detail. The story is lighthearted and entertaining, making it a complete package for co-op fans who enjoy both action and puzzle solving. Moving Out 2 takes spot 7 and is one of the most reliably funny co-op games on the platform right now. Playing as physics-driven removal workers, you and your partner must move furniture and objects from increasingly absurd locations under time pressure. The chaos of wrestling oversized couches through tiny doorways or launching appliances across rooms never gets old. New mechanics, including portals and different dimensions, expand the concept well beyond the original. The difficulty scales to keep things challenging but never punishing, and the sheer physical comedy of the gameplay generates constant laughter through every session. At number 8, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Shredder's Revenge is a celebration of classic beat-em-up gaming that modernizes the formula beautifully. Up to 6 players can join locally in some modes, making it one of the most flexible co-op options on this list. Each of the 4 turtles plays distinctly, and the combat system is deep enough to reward skilled players while remaining accessible for newcomers. The pixel art visuals are lovingly crafted and loaded with fan service for longtime TMNT fans. The campaign is not overly long, but it is packed with energy and momentum that makes every session feel exciting and rewarding. Cuphead lands at 9 with its legendary hand-drawn animation and brutally satisfying co-op boss rush gameplay. Every enemy and stage is animated in a 1930s cartoon style that remains one of the most visually distinctive aesthetics in gaming history. 2 players take on waves of boss encounters that require pattern memorization, precise movement, and constant communication. The delicious Last Course DLC added significant new content, including a new playable character and additional bosses. It is challenging, but never unfair, and the sense of achievement when you finally bring down a difficult boss together is genuinely exhilarating. Number 10 is Broforce Forever, the expanded and definitive version of the explosive side-scrolling action game, packed with action movie parody and destructible environments. Every level is a chaotic playground, where nearly every surface can be blown apart. Players control an ever-growing roster of action hero parodies, each with unique weapons and abilities. The 2-player local co-op turns the chaos up significantly, with more firepower leading to faster environmental destruction and more hilarious outcomes. It is loud, ridiculous, and enormously fun, from the opening level through to the final explosive set piece. Kirby's Dream Buffet claims spot 11 as one of the most family-friendly and genuinely delightful co-op party games available. The game takes Kirby's classic copy ability and places it into a miniature golf and party game format, with players rolling around food-themed courses to collect strawberries and compete in mini-games. Up to 4 players can join locally, and the bright candy-colored visuals are immediately appealing to younger audiences. The skill ceiling is low enough to be inclusive without being boring for experienced players. It is short but sweet, pun fully intended, and consistently enjoyable in a group setting. At 12, Minecraft Legends brings co-op strategy and action together in the beloved Minecraft universe, with bright visuals and accessible gameplay. Players work together to defend villages from piglin invasions by commanding mobs and building defenses across a procedurally generated overworld. The real-time strategy elements are simplified enough to be approachable, but deep enough to create meaningful tactical decisions. The visual style maintains Minecraft's signature blocky charm, while adding more detailed environments and lighting. Playing cooperatively lets players divide responsibilities in satisfying ways, making it a unique and engaging entry in the co-op gaming space. LEGO Star Wars: The Skywalker Saga takes the 13th spot as the most ambitious and content-rich LEGO game ever made. Covering all 9 mainline Star Wars films, the game offers an enormous amount of campaign content, collectibles, and unlockable characters across every era of the saga. 2-player drop-in, drop-out co-op runs throughout the entire experience smoothly. The humor is consistently charming, and the gameplay variety keeps things feeling fresh across dozens of hours of content. Even for players who have seen every Star Wars film multiple times, seeing them reimagined in LEGO form is a reliably entertaining experience for all ages. Sonic Superstars lands at 14 as a return to the classic 2D Sonic formula with modern visuals and 4-player local co-op support. The game captures the speed and momentum of the original Sega Genesis titles, while adding new transformation abilities that open up alternate paths and puzzle solutions. Playing with multiple characters simultaneously creates entertaining chaos as players race each other through stages. The boss fights are large, imaginative, and genuinely challenging in the best tradition of the series. It is a confident and polished platformer that satisfies longtime fans while providing an accessible entry point for newcomers joining through co-op. At 15, SpongeBob SquarePants The Cosmic Shake is a genuinely well-made 3D platformer that stands up beyond its licensed origins. Players travel through themed worlds inspired by different genres and SpongeBob episodes, collecting and platforming through colorful environments. The humor is faithful to the show and lands consistently for fans of any age. 2-player co-op adds a buddy mode that keeps the experience fresh. The movement feels responsive, and the level variety prevents the gameplay from feeling repetitive. It is a pleasant surprise for anyone who writes off licensed games automatically, and a guaranteed hit for SpongeBob fans. Ghostbusters: Spirits Unleashed fills spot 16 with an asymmetric multiplayer co-op experience that lets one player haunt a building as a ghost while 4 others hunted down as Ghostbusters. The loop of setting up haunts and laying traps versus coordinating equipment and communication as the hunting team is genuinely entertaining and strategically interesting. Both sides feel distinct and rewarding to play. The visual style is faithful to the Ghostbusters aesthetic, and the environments are varied enough to keep matches feeling different. Regular content updates have supported the game post-launch, and the player base remains active enough to find matches consistently. Number 17 is Lovers in a Dangerous Spacetime, a vibrant and collaborative twin-stick shooter set inside a neon spaceship under constant alien assault. Two players must manage different stations inside the ship simultaneously, with one piloting and the other operating weapons or shields depending on the threat. The cooperative dependency creates constant, meaningful communication and teamwork. The visual style is colorful and energetic, and the difficulty ramps up in a way that feels rewarding rather than frustrating. It is one of the more underrated co-op titles on this list, and absolutely worth discovering for couples or friends looking for something a little different. Full Metal Furies claims spot 18 as a co-op action RPG that blends brawler combat with light role-playing progression in a fantasy setting. Up to 4 players each control a specialized warrior class with distinct abilities that synergize with the rest of the team. Enemy design requires genuine tactical thought, with some foes only vulnerable to specific attack types. The campaign is lengthy and varied, and the loot system provides consistent motivation to keep pushing forward. The humor is dry and self-aware, adding personality to what could have been a generic genre exercise. It is a deeply satisfying co-op experience for players who enjoy both action and RPG elements together. Nobody Saves the World takes 19 as a top-down action RPG with one of the most clever co-op systems on this list. Players transform between different character forms, each with unique abilities, and must combine these forms to unlock new progression paths. The 2-player local and online co-op lets both players experiment independently while contributing to shared objectives. The visual style is simple but charming, and the writing has genuine wit throughout. The quest design encourages exploring every corner of the world, and with a partner to share the discovery with, the game opens up into something genuinely special and surprisingly deep. At 20, Neon White is a fast-paced action platformer built around speed, cards as weapons, and obsessive level completion times. While primarily a single-player experience, the competitive co-op element comes from racing friends on the same leaderboard and beating each other's ghost runs. Watching a partner play and then immediately competing to beat their time creates an infectious competitive loop. The neon visual style and electronic soundtrack create a distinct atmosphere. The level design is razor-sharp, with each stage hiding secret shortcuts that reward exploration. It is a different kind of co-op experience, but a compelling and addictive one. Streets of Rage 4 takes the 21st spot as the long-awaited return of Sega's legendary beat-em-up franchise, and it exceeds every expectation. The hand-drawn visual style is gorgeous and expressive, and the combat system adds new mechanics while honoring the feel of the originals. Up to 4 players can brawl simultaneously through the campaign, creating satisfying, coordinated chaos. The soundtrack from multiple respected composers is outstanding throughout. The roster of playable characters is varied, and each one has a dubs to reward dedicated practice. It is the definitive modern beat-em-up, and one of the best co-op experiences regardless of platform. Hammerwatch II lands at 22 as an action RPG dungeon crawler with deep co-op support and a surprising amount of content. Up to 4 players explore procedurally generated maps, fight enemies, collect loot, and level up characters across a sprawling fantasy world with multiple distinct regions. The pixel art style is detailed and atmospheric, and the variety of character classes keeps the team composition interesting. The difficulty is tunable to suit different groups, making it accessible for casual players while offering real challenge at higher settings. It is one of the better-kept secrets on this list and well worth the attention of co-op RPG fans. Castle Crashers Remastered fills spot 23 as a classic beat-em-up that has aged remarkably well and remains one of the most entertaining co-op experiences available. The cartoon art style from the behemoth is instantly recognizable, and the humor throughout the campaign is consistently charming. Up to 4 knights with elemental powers paddle through an absurd fantasy adventure, leveling up and collecting weapons along the way. The Arena and Arena Online modes extend the fun beyond the main campaign. It is accessible to nearly any player, regardless of experience, and the sheer quality of the core co-op loop keeps it relevant years after its original release. Shift Happens takes the 24th spot as a physics-based puzzle platformer where two players control characters that share the same total mass between them. When one grows larger, the other shrinks, and mastering this mechanic is central to solving every level. The concept is simple to understand, but increasingly complex to execute, making it a strong choice for players who enjoy cooperative puzzle solving with a mechanical twist. The visual style is clean and pleasant, and the level design does an excellent job building on the core idea progressively. It is a creative and consistently entertaining co-op game that stands out from the crowd. Ratchet & Clank Rift Apart closes the list at 25 as one of the most visually stunning games on PS5, period. While primarily designed as a single-player adventure, the game supports a buddy system that lets a second player join in and assist during combat sections. The graphics are genuinely next-generation, with near-photorealistic environments that showcase everything the PS5 hardware can do. The dimensional rifting mechanic keeps the gameplay constantly surprising, and the introduction of Rivet as a new protagonist adds real emotional depth to the story. As a showcase for the platform combined with excellent co-op elements, it belongs on this list without question.